Me and my bestie Emily are two super geeky geniuses obsessed with the yucky side of science. We like nothing better than beavering away in our bedrooms doing all sorts of slimy experiments. Our boring parents insisted we get babysitting jobs, and it was while changing stinky diapers that we dreamed up our latest invention, a diaper changing machine. We called it the Changertastic 2000, and it's constructed from materials we may or may not have stolen from our school's science department. After testing the Changertastic 2000 on some uncooperative teddy bears, Emily suggested we try it on an actual baby. Are you insane? What if something went wrong? We tried to think of another test subject. Wait, well, what about my bratty little brother? Emily laughed. Does he wear diapers? She shook her head. Well, what else can we use, Jessica? Later that afternoon, we were flicking through the channels when a commercial came on for Inconti-Man. For those who don't know, Inconti-Man make adult protective underwear, a bit like Pampers, but for men. And then it hit us. These men pee themselves, whispered Emily. They poo themselves as well, I replied. They wear diapers, we yelled in unison. We jumped up and danced around the room ecstatically. We'll use an incontinent man to test the Changertastic 2000. I almost died. I phoned up Inconti-Man in a flash and spoke to a very nice young lady called Joanna who was really interested in our machine. She popped around to my house the next day to speak to us. Gracefully tall with long blonde hair tied up in a bun, Joanna was in her mid-20s and dressed in a stylish black trouser suit. We thought she looked very professional and she was just as eager as us to test out our machine. But who could we use? She smiled to herself, then said, I think I know just the person. Who? Joanna kept us on tenterhooks for a moment, then replied, a little man called Ben. Ben? He's a 48-year-old unemployed garbage man with low intelligence. He's also on the sex offenders registry. Oh, right. What? But he does have double incontinence. Perfect! We keep him at the company laboratory for testing purposes. He's an industrial-strength disposable diapers. Industrial strength? He's a right little poo machine. Joanna then told us she'd make the necessary arrangements and that Ben will be delivered the next day. The following morning was warm and sunny, and I almost passed out with excitement when I clapped eyes on a very large box waiting on my porch. I immediately phoned Emily, and she was round in a trice. The Inconti-Man logo was clearly visible on the box and printed directly beneath it in big red text. Warning, hazardous waste inside. Do you think he's really in there? Whispered Emily. There was more text on the side written in thick black marker pen. Research subject for testing purposes only. We lifted the heavy box indoors before grabbing our lab coats. Do you think we'll need safety goggles as well? I nodded, somewhat nervously, then went to get a knife. I cautiously started to cut the duct tape sealing the package. The sides of the box fell back and we were both floored by a fearsome stench. We held our noses against the miasma, noticing a grumpy little man with a pot belly and a receding hairline sitting silently in the box, gazing up at us with big googly eyes. He was wearing nothing but an Inconti-Man diaper, which looked like it was about to explode. Ben! Emily, you'll have to unbox him. I'm not touching that thing. Hey, where are you going? Kitchen, I'll get us some rubber gloves. Get some face masks as well. Ben urgently needed changing, so we hurried him upstairs to our lab, my bedroom, where the Changertastic 2000 awaited its first victim, user. We strapped Ben into the awesome contraption and pushed the big brown button marked Change. Our invention whirred into life, Emily and I avidly looking on as the mechanics went to work on an actual living, breathing human being, although I'm not sure Ben qualifies as human. Everything had been going A-OK until the final stage. The Changertastic had removed Ben's poopy diaper, effortlessly sealing it up in a little airtight plastic baggie before chucking it in a nearby trash bin. It had also wiped him thoroughly, getting into all those hard-to-reach places. Afterwards, it had added some rash cream, then powdered his cute little butt. But then something must have gone wrong because instead of taping Ben into a nice clean diaper, it made a ghastly retching sound beeped loudly, then threw Ben straight through my bedroom window. Emily looked at me with a stunned expression. She was momentarily speechless before simply mouthing, "Oops!" We raced downstairs and out the door. Ben was in the backyard, awkwardly perched on a big pile of garbage. Butt naked, he looked redder than ever, glaring at us from the soft plastic trash bags that had cushioned his fall. Meanwhile, me and Emily collapsed in hysterics at the sight of his junk. When we'd finally composed ourselves, we pleaded with Ben to test the changer-tastic again. "Not a chance!" "Oh, come on, Ben. I think I know what went wrong. And it is for science." He remained obstinate. "We'll give you some candy?" That did the trick, and we returned to my bedroom to strap him in. However, this time he would be wearing protective headgear, my kid brother's Little League helmet. The changer-tastic went through the motions again, but now it was successful, comically tossing a freshly diapered Ben up into the air when it was done. Me and Emily gracefully caught him like a pair of synchronized swimmers, and Emily, who got a little overexcited, couldn't resist planting a big kiss on the little man's lips. "Don't get any ideas, Ben." To celebrate, we decided to have more fun with Ben. He really is a funny little man. I don't think he's even 4 foot tall. We added to his babyish appearance by sticking a binky in his mouth. We then made him do a diaper dance to Baby One More Time by Britney Spears, all the while taking compromising photos for future blackmail purposes. Afterwards, we popped Ben back in his box and mailed him back to Inconti-Man. We wondered what would become of our little test subject. Would he spend the rest of his days being a lab rat? Or would he raise his status and live his best life as well, who knows? Possibly a model for adult diapers or something. Either way, with the changer-tastic 2000, Emily and I were all set to become multimillionaires, and Ben wouldn't be getting a cent of it. So there.